Yo, what's going on, guys? KrispyFlakes here. For today's video, we have an article titled "The One Player from Every NBA Team Under the Most Pressure Going Into This NBA Season." So, of course, like every year, there's guys out there where it's just time for them to step up as basketball players. Maybe they're in a contract year. Maybe they did bad last year, and this is really their last chance, or they're going to find themselves not on an NBA team after this season. So this is an article by Dan Faville of Bleacher Report. We're going to go through each and every single one of these, see if we agree or disagree. Maybe there's a different player that's under more pressure, based off my opinions. But yes, if you guys can do me a quick favor and please drop a like on this video. Also, guys, be sure to check out my second channel, Extra Crispy. I am posting NBA content every single day over there. And plus, I have an epic giveaway going on at 50K subscribers that you don't want to miss out on. Here we go, guys. So the first thing we have is the Atlanta Hawks with Trae Young. And I will say, man, does Trae Young really have a lot of pressure? I mean, he has a little bit of pressure because I would say the Hawks management has more pressure because they, of course, traded Luka Doncic for Trae Young. And Luka's looking pretty good. Trae Young at times in preseason was looking a little, well, Trae Youngish, which means, just like he likes to take a lot of unorthodox shots and stuff like that at times. But yeah, man, I really think the pressure comes from just showing some sort of glimpse of maybe being the potential, all-star or superstar point guard of this Hawks team in the future. He's definitely going to have some growing pains though, man. So I'm not really expecting a great rookie season, but let's just show some signs of promise out there. Next up, we have the Boston Celtics with Gordon Hayward. So yeah, man, Gordon Hayward is healthy, and now he has to show that he can fit into this team because let's be honest, man, without Gordon Hayward, this Boston Celtics team was still pretty damn good last season. I mean, they were actually really good. So he has to show that he's worth that contract he currently has. He has to show that he's not going to be an issue to the chemistry of this team because that's a big-time thing with all the forwards this team has. And he has to show that he can play alongside the rest of the squad out there, man, really help them take that next jump to win an NBA championship. So I expect that if Gordon Hayward doesn't do too well with the Celtics, or maybe they just start to struggle, I wouldn't be surprised if he was traded at some point, maybe not this season, but before his contract is up. Next up, we have the Brooklyn Nets with D'Angelo Russell. So Russell, I think this is the year, guys, that he needs to show that he can be an all-star caliber point guard. Because after this year, I believe his contract is up, so he has to show the Brooklyn Nets that he's worth investing in. And even if the Brooklyn Nets decide not to pay him his money, well, maybe he has to show to other teams out there that he's worth that big-time contract. Like, would I pay D'Lo a max contract? Hell no, man, not yet. He's not proven that yet. But, I mean, I feel like D'Lo is going to have a really good NBA season, man. I wouldn't be surprised if he made the All-Star team. I don't think he's going to start on the All-Star team, obviously. But maybe being one of the last roster spots picked, I could see that happening. I think he's really has a lot to show this season. I think he's definitely going to step up to the plate. Of course, the basketball, so, I don't know why I use a baseball pun. He's going to step up to the court. I don't know, man. Next up, we have Nicholas Batum of the Charlotte Hornets. I'm sorry, man, but this dude is just washed, okay? 5 years, $120 million contract. This dude's been nothing but injury prone and just lackluster out there. It's just I don't know, man. He's already got his big contract. There's no pressure on him. He's already gotten the money. So at this point, man, it's even if he doesn't end up, I mean, he's always going to be on an NBA roster because, of course, he's talented. But I don't really see any pressure along the lines of what he's going to do, man. I would say the pressure is more for Kemba Walker because he's on a contract here, and Kemba Walker has to show that he can lead an NBA team. And I mean, the Charlotte Hornets have not really been too well with him, so I don't see a lot of pressure with Batum. The man's already got paid his money, and that's it. If he's not on a team next season, the dude's still $120 million richer. He's fine. Next up, we have Zach LaVine of the Chicago Bulls. Yes, he actually got himself a nice size contract. I believe, was it around $84 million, which is borderline, if not all-star shooting guard, a type of contract out there. So he's got to show that he's more than just a mediocre shooting guard. He's got to show that he can be a big-time scorer for this team, that he can be a leader of this team. Because you really look around the squad, and there's not really a leader out there, man. I mean, Robin Lopez, I guess he's a veteran out there, but somebody has to be the vocal leader of this team, and I think Zach LaVine definitely could be it, but he definitely got to step up. Next up, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers, Kevin Love. Now, man, Kevin Love's got his championship ring. Kevin Love's got his large contract. I mean, I guess the only pressure you can show is that maybe the Cleveland Cavaliers can win without LeBron James, but they're not going to, plain and simple. So maybe Kevin Love uses it as motivation, uses the pressure to show other NBA teams that he's worth that contract he was given, which in the future might result in him being traded to a contender. I mean, I personally hate seeing Kevin Love be on the Cavaliers now because I don't think they're going to be very good. I don't think he fits into what they need to do out there, and I don't really understand the mindset behind the contract he was given. I don't think he has pressure. I just think it was a poor management decision to sign him for that much money. I want to see him go to the contender, though. Dallas Mavericks, we got Luka Doncic. Yes, and once again, a rookie. And I understand there's pressures on rookies, but I kind of give them a pass in their first NBA season. There's just so much to learn out there. But Luka has to prove that, once again, right along the lines with Trae Young, that he can be that franchise player, that he can show glimpses of that. I feel like in preseason he's done that so far. Remember, the Dallas Mavericks not only gave up Trae Young or that pick, but they also gave up next year's pick, man. So essentially, they gave up what probably would have been 2 lottery picks in exchange for Luka Doncic. So I mean, yeah, there is pressure right there. I think he's gonna do it though, man. I think he's gonna be a really good NBA player. He definitely has a lot to learn as far as just pacing of the game. I know that's something he kind of struggled with in preseason and stuff like that, but he'll definitely get it. Next up, we have Denver Nuggets, Nikola Jokic. Yes, Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. So when it comes to them, they were literally 1 game from making the playoffs last season. Jokic has to just improve on what he's already built. I mean, he's a top 20 player in the NBA. He's somebody that really went out there, and he's proven people that he should have been drafted a lot higher. He's proven that he was slept on by scouts, and he just has to continue to build and show that he can be the number 1 option of a championship contending team. There's a lot of good things going on for the Nuggets. They have a lot of good players on that team. It's just time for Jokic, to do even better out there. Next up, we have the Detroit Pistons and Reggie Jackson. So, yes, he has 2 years left on his deal. I believe $17 million a season. He's been on and off with injuries for the past 2 years. The first few seasons with Detroit, he was actually pretty good, man. Like, he's somebody that takes a lot of bad shots. He really does. But he's been a good closer when healthy for the Pistons. He's a guy that's in the fourth quarter. I don't want to say Mr. Big Shot, because that's Chauncey Billups, but the man has proven that he can be clutch out there, so he has to come back healthy. And the Pistons just need a consistent point guard. That's all they need, man. Go out there, prove you can drop 16, 17 points, 5-6 assists, and that will be big time alongside Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond. Golden State Warriors, DeMarcus Cousins. No, man, this dude's getting paid $5 million. He has zero pressure. There is zero pressure. I mean, yeah, maybe the pressure comes along the lines of chemistry issues, but I've said it once, I'll say it again. As long as he's better than Zaza Pachulia, JaVale McGee, Jordan Bell, guys like that have been the center for this team for the past few seasons, they're good to go, man. There ain't no big-time contract. I guess the pressure is along the lines of showing that he can come back and be that dominant superstar top 2-3 center in the NBA that he once was before injury. Because he is on a contract here in that sense. So, yeah, I guess that is where the pressure comes from. And that could actually hurt being on this Warriors team because the opportunity to do that might not be there with the amount of superstars this team already has. For the Houston Rockets, Chris Paul, I don't know, man. The pressure is there. I mean, Chris Paul, I want him to win a championship so bad, guys. I really want CP3 to win a championship. I just don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know, man. I feel like there's been chances there. This upcoming season, playing with James Harden and Melo and Clint Capella, the chance is definitely always going to be there when you have Chris Paul as your point guard. But it's time to do it, and I just don't know. There's so much talent out there in that Western Conference and the NBA in general. Like, is he going to do it? Because that's really what Chris Paul needs. He needs that championship ring to prove. I mean, he's already one of the greatest point guards of all time, but that'll put him like in a class with some of the all-time greats. For the Indiana Pacers, we got Miles Turner. This is one of my votes for most improved player. It's time for him to go out there, man, and become a top player in the NBA. Use that blueprint of Victor Oladipo, who won most improved player himself. Victor needs that second option. If this Pacers team is going to take the next step, Miles, you have all the tools to be the perfect center in the NBA. You got the mid-range game. You got the three-point shot. You got the defense out there. You can play defense on multiple positions. You're quick, which is so important for being a center, man. It's just like, it's time. It's time, Miles Turner. You got to do it, man. Today is the day. That's my motivational. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt, man. Today is the day. I don't know. Maybe not. Los Angeles Clippers, Tobias Harris. What are we really expecting from the Clippers? I'm not really expecting a lot unless they make a trade for somebody like Kawhi Leonard or Jimmy Butler. I guess I don't want to say trade because Kawhi Leonard can't be traded now. But I mean, I guess this is Tobias' tryout for other NBA teams. I know he's on a contract here. He declined a pretty nice size chunk of change, an extension with the Clippers. So, yeah, I would say that pressure is that he could have had that guaranteed money. Now he needs to go out there and prove that he's worth more than what he actually declined. For the Lakers, we have Brandon Ingram. LeBron James needs that number 2 option. He needs that number 2 option, and a lot of people think that it's going to be Brandon Ingram. So far watching preseason, Brandon Ingram's actually been one of LeBron's favorite targets out there. But, I mean, this is his 3rd season in the NBA, I believe. 3rd or 4th season, I don't remember. I think it's 3rd season. He has all the tools in the book out there to be a 20-point per game scorer. He just needs to put together. He needs to have confidence. It's time to get out of that. It's time to leave the nest and get out of that stage of, I'm still learning out there. No, man, the time is now. I said it again. All right, we got the Memphis Grizzlies, Mike Conley. Not a lot of pressure here. He's got another $90 million on his contract of guaranteed money. He got a player option for that last season. I think he's going to be good out there for the Memphis Grizzlies, but I don't expect the Grizzlies to make the playoffs. I would like to see him do well, though, and maybe warrant some sort of trade value where he would get to go to a contender. Or even go into a team, I don't know, man. I guess I can't really think of a team that absolutely could use him right now. I know he's out. I know they're out there. Maybe like I was going to say the Nuggets, but they have, what's his name, man? They got Jamal Murray and Isaiah Thomas, so that's not really a good fit. I know there's a good fit out there. I just can't think of it at the moment. Miami Heat, we have Josh Richardson. So, as of the making of this video, Jimmy Butler has not been traded. A big reason is because the Miami Heat are not wanting to give up Josh Richardson. If he goes out there, has a big-time setback, then that might be something that Heat fans look on and be like, yo, management, you all should have traded this man, for Jimmy Butler. But, because apparently this guy's got really high trade value. He was one of the better players in the NBA last season. Definitely one of the most underrated players in the NBA. So, yeah, just continue that success. Milwaukee Bucks, we have Eric Bledsee. I don't think he's been a great fit for the Milwaukee Bucks. I understand why they did make that trade for him. What was it, before last season or whatever? Because they just didn't really have the guy out there. I would say Malcolm Brogdon is more of a shooting guard, or maybe even a a six-man point guard of the NBA. So Eric Bledsoe definitely gave them that star potential point guard, but it hasn't really resulted in anything. I mean, the Bucks have not been great the past few seasons. I do think that's going to change this season, and Eric Bledsoe needs to show that he can lead this team, into a deep conference run, man. Maybe being a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference. Minnesota Timberwolves, Andrew Wiggins. Jimmy Butler is not going to play with this team. If they do, I'll be very surprised. I mean, I know there's a lot of drama going on with him right now in the organization, but if Jimmy Butler leaves, Andrew Wiggins, before Jimmy Butler was on that team, averaged around 23 points per game, was really coming into his own. I think he needs to show that he can continue to be that out there. He signed a huge bitch-ass contract, guys. He got a huge amount of money. So when you get that kind of money, you got to prove yourself. Now we got Elfrid Payton of the Pelicans. I am so surprised the Suns let this guy go. I mean, since leaving the Magic and playing that partial season with the Suns, he was really good out there. And I mean, the Pelicans are taking a chance on him. I see a little bit of Rondo in him where he's more of a pass-first point guard. I think he could be a nice piece for this Pelicans team. I think he fits right into what they're doing. As long as he can go out there and get the ball to Anthony Davis, he'll be good to go. Not a lot of pressure with that. New York Knicks, Kevin Knox. Y'all want to talk about putting pressure on a rookie? Look no farther than Kevin Knox. This dude had a few good summer league games, and I do think he's going to be the real deal out there. But a lot of people are saying this man's going to be the number 1 option with Kristaps Porzingis potentially being out for the rest or for the whole NBA season. And I'm going to say this Knicks team is probably going to struggle, but Kevin Knox has to go and show that he can be an option for this team. For the OKC Thunder, we have Russell Westbrook. I don't know, man. I mean, I guess I don't really see any pressure from this season compared to others. Maybe you can say that Carmelo Anthony was a big-time chemistry issue for this team. So now that he's off the team, now that you got Russell Westbrook and you got Paul George out there, maybe the pressure is not as big because the chemistry issues are a lot better. And it's like, okay, what's the excuse this time if you guys don't do well? I think Russell Westbrook's going to have an MVP caliber season. He's going to go out there, average around that triple-double, and he'll be fine. For the Orlando Magic, Aaron Gordon. Yeah, man, he got a $76 million restricted deal. I don't know if I love the fit of him alongside Bamba, just because, he is kind of a guy that needs to slash to the basket. He definitely needs to work on his three-point shot. It's there. It's definitely there. But when you get paid that $76 million contract, that's showing that you're going to be a top 2 or 3 player on your team. Can he be that? I think so. Will it result in the Magic winning games? It hasn't yet. So time to, step up as a leader. 76ers, Markelle Fultz. Yes. The jump shot's looking good, guys. I think his jump shot's looking good. We're hearing a lot about how he is probably going to start for the 76ers team, but only for the first half of the game. So the bench unit, or it sounds like he's going to be on the bench for the second half, which is not really great. I see that probably changing if he ends up playing well out there, but that's pretty much what he has to show. It's like, is he a guy that can start and play the whole game, or is he going to be better off the bench? I mean, he was the number 1 pick in the draft, guys. He's got to show something out there, and I think he will. For the Phoenix Suns, we have Devin Booker. I would probably say Ayton has more pressure than Devin Booker because we kind of know what Devin Booker is already, and Ayton has to prove himself as being the number one pick in the NBA and stuff like that. But at the same time, Devin Booker, I don't know, man, the pressure still isn't there because he's not old. Like, if he was like 26, 27, the Suns team was still struggling, it's like, okay, something's going on. But I believe he's still one of the youngest players on his team. Y'all got to go out there and just continue trusting things. Portland Trailblazers, we got Nurkic. So Nurkic got himself a nice size contract. Not like too bad. I actually do like the money. I actually do like the contract he got. I thought it was pretty friendly out there. But when you invest in a guy like Nurkic, he needs to be that third option. He needs to be that big man that can go out there and just play with Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, have it result in wins. I think last season he averaged around 17 points, 10 rebounds. I'm actually a fan of his. I think he's a nice, good, solid NBA center. I don't really see a lot of pressure with him. I would say probably Damian or CJ McCollum because one of those guys, if this team turns out being L, is going to get traded, plain and simple. We got the Sacramento Kings, Marvin Bagley III. So I'm a guy that I don't know if I'm a big fan of Marvin Bagley III. I don't know if I don't really like guys that you don't know where to play him. Like, is he a power forward? But I don't know if he's quite that. Is he a center? And it's a little too undersized for that. Like, where exactly do you play him? I hope he goes out there and proves me wrong. I think he will. He was a top 4 pick in the draft. The Sacramento Kings have so many big guys on that team that it's like it gets to the point where if you don't step up, your spot's gonna get taken by somebody else. Well, this is awkward. This is, yeah. I guess this article is a few days old. I'm just gonna move on. Let's just get going with this. Okay, Toronto Raptors. Kawhi Leonard says no players under more pressure than Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, if you go out there and you bring the drama, you bring the bitch-ass drama, man, it's not going to be good because you were on a 1-year deal with this team. If you don't play good for the Raptors, they don't result in wins, then they're not going to want to bring it back. Nobody's going to I'm just joking. Somebody's going to want some Kawhi Leonard. He'll be fine. I expect him to have a really good bounce-back season. I'm going to guess around 24 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block per game. That's my predictions. Utah Jazz, Donovan Mitchell. The sophomore slump can be a bitch-ass, guys. The sophomore slump out there can really get you. If there was a player I would say has a chance of suffering to that, it would be Donovan Mitchell. Because the reason I say that, I think he's fantastic, but nobody expected him to be as good as he was last year. So it's like, was that a fluke? I don't think it was, but you always have a risk of that. And then finally we have the Washington Wizards, John Wall. The man been having injury issues, guys. The Washington Wizards every single season have a player. This year's Austin Rivers actually saying, don't count us out, don't count us out. And then they end up, choking in the playoffs. You guys have a hell of a good team. John Wall and Bradley Beal, top back, one of the top backcourts in the NBA. Otto Porter, great. Dwight Howard had a really good season last year. John Wall, it's time to lead this team to some success out there. It's time to win a few playoff series. The pressure's on, man. Anyway, hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe to my channel. Be sure, guys, to check out my second channel, Extra Crispy. Subscribe to be automatically entered into that big-time epic giveaway that's going on at 50K subscribers. And peace out, my friends.